Anthony Albanese's war against Twitter boss Elon Musk. It today got more vicious, it got more cynical, more hypocritical and more dangerous to you. Today the Prime Minister played the class war card against Musk and abused him for saying Australia shouldn't be trying to stop the whole world from seeing the stabbing attack in Sydney on a Christian bishop.
It just shows his arrogance. This is an egotist, totally out of touch. He clearly sees this as a vanity project for himself.
That's not Albanese putting an argument. That's him appealing to the mob with cheap abuse of a scapegoat. But then came the hypocrisy, plus more abuse.
Well, this is a bloke who's chosen ego and showing violence over common sense. I think that Australians will shake their head when they think that this billionaire is prepared to go to court fighting for the right to sow division and to show violent videos.
Such hypocrisy. But before I show you why, two things to remember. First is that the left now hates Elon Musk. I mean, he bought Twitter after getting sick of its censorship of conservatives. It had even banned Donald Trump. So Musk is now a hate figure of the left. So that's important background. Oh, the second thing to remember is that Musk is not some sociopath demanding the right to sow division. Albanese is just defaming him. No, he's actually serious about free speech. So when the Albanese government's e-safety commissioner, a disgruntled former Twitter employee, by the way, told Musk to take down this stabbing footage or risk nearly $800,000 a day in fines, Musk tweeted this, that we face a choice here between free speech or censorship and government propaganda. And it's also tweeted this question: should the e-safety commissioner, an unelected official in Australia, have authority over all countries on earth about what they read on Twitter? Which is a great question. And yesterday in the federal court, the government's demonisation of Musk started to look even more cynical. The Safety Commissioner was applying for and got a temporary injunction on Twitter from showing this stabbing footage in Australia, even though her own barrister admitted in court that actually, well, this footage is probably out there on other platforms, so it might be said there's a degree of futility in granting an injunction in these circumstances, and indeed the judge seemed to agree. Now that sounds to me like a government trying to make an example of Twitter without making a real difference. But then came this argument, one that the Albanese government is running hard on. The E-Safety Commissioner's barrister actually claimed this is a graphic and violent video. There will be irreparable harm if it's on Twitter. This kind of material can be co-opted by those seeking to fan public anger. Irreparable harm? Now I know we're being conned. This video, yes, shows a graphic act of violence, so you can understand the government's panic. Because here is a Christian bishop being stabbed, allegedly, by a boy from a Muslim family. And the government is freaking. I mean, what might Muslims say? What might some Christians do? Censor it. I mean, it's much easier than actually doing something, or facing up to the possible consequences of our unsafe levels of mass immigration, our divisive multiculturalism, our new tribalism, all of which has been encouraged by governments. But just look at the footage itself. How violent is it really? Now, I know the attack is awful, but the bishop is already out of hospital. He's not dead. And let me now compare and contrast. Right now, on the ABC, for instance, I can see body cam footage of a killing of white police from Alice Springs shooting in self-defence, said by a jury, shooting an Aboriginal man, Kumanjayi Walker, who stabbed them with scissors. This is far more violent. And it's also likely to cause division. In fact, you've seen black anger already, you've seen black protests, you've seen calls for vengeance, for so-called justice.
When we are going to get justice?
So why is that video of the fatal shooting still allowed even on the national broadcaster's site when a non-fatal stabbing must be banned from the gaze of the entire world? Is it that the police shooting might stir up Aboriginal hatred of whites, But the stabbing of a Christian bishop might stir feelings about Muslims. And what's actually the precedent here? Here's another thing. We can't see any footage of the next terrorism attack as well, or even of someone maybe punching someone. I mean, where's the line? And must Twitter now also let other countries stop us from seeing what's really happening in their countries too? Like the Charlie Hebdo attack or the Hamas attack on Israel. So that soon, no one knows what's really going on unless some government allows it. I've even heard discussion today. Well, how about cancelling Twitter for Australia? Sealing ourselves off. I mean, what next? Sealing ourselves off from Facebook as well and from TikTok owned by China, and shutting them all out until we're in our own little hermit kingdom, looking only at videos of cute puppies and fluffy kittens and whatever governments deem is safe? I mean, this is seriously mad. And what's making it worse and even more hypocritical is that the Albanese government, meanwhile, does nothing about the kind of people who really do promote division on the internet. It's done flat nothing about the Aussie Cossack, for instance, who's actually just an Australian fugitive from police who spent almost 2 years hiding from them in the Russian consulate in Sydney, broadcasting pro-Putin propaganda, and is also the one who spread those false and inflammatory rumours that the Bondi Junction killer was actually a Jew called Benjamin Cohen. Totally false. The government's done nothing about him. It's done nothing about Sydney hate preachers like this guy, stirring up hatred and division. No, you are being played. You are being played. Here's the Prime Minister playing class politics, distracting you from the real causes of our division, imposing a censorship that suits governments, and even misusing now this stabbing video for his real business, selling you his controversial plan for even more censorship, his planned misinformation laws. Please don't fall for it.